Hey, it's me, James, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Galactic Guides Oracle by Rockpool Publishing. So, stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining me for this video. If this is your first time here, I'd like to say welcome. And if you're a returning viewer and visitor, I'd like to say welcome back. Well, as I said in the teaser, we are going to be doing an unboxing and deck walkthrough of a deck that I received from Rockpool Publishing, which is the Galactic Guides Oracle cards. This is a set by Victoria Maxwell. You may know her best as Vix, also known as New Age Hipster. That is the handle that she has on Instagram because I follow her there. And the illustrator is Ellie Grant. Now, they have collaborated on 2 prior decks, so this is their deck, their 3rd deck, I should say, as a creative team. I have their very first one, which is Angels Among Us. This is also by Rockpool Publishing, so this was their first deck creation together. And the second one is Goddesses Among Us. I do not have that one. But Rockpool reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in being gifted a copy. So here it is. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited that Rockpool knows that I exist. If you're new here, I've done a couple of walkthrough videos of prior Rockpool offerings that they were gracious enough to send me. And so the way this happened was one day the people at Rockpool reached out to me on Instagram. They sent me a direct message, a DM, asking me if I would be interested in receiving some of their products for perusal, for review, things like that, just to get the word out that these things are upcoming. So I was very excited to get this one because I wanted to support Vix. And so this deck is coming out. I'm filming this on February the 7th, 2024, and it's set to come out or be released on March the 5th, 2024. So there's a little less than a month prior to that, so you could pre-order it if you're feeling inclined after the walkthrough that it speaks to you, that it resonates with you. Okay, but so let's just go right in. So here's the box. On the front, it says, Galactic Guides Oracle, be guided by the love, light, and magic of the galaxy. And then there are 3 characters that are going to be on cards in the deck. The sides are in silver. I love that. So that's one of the sides. The top. The other side. And on the bottom you'll see the branding and barcode. Here's the back. I'll hold it up for a minute before I turn it over to read it. But you'll see there's some text here. And like I said, I'll hold it so if you want to pause it, you can read the text for yourself. And then you'll see thumbnails of 3 cards on the back. Okay, so the text reads, a fresh and empowering guide to divination working with galactic energy. The planets, zodiac signs, and star systems take physical form in this fun and easy-to-use deck that brings the celestial bodies down to Earth. Whether you're an astrology lover, a star seed, or are just starting out on your journey through the cosmos, your galactic guides will help you to shine as bright as the stars and fully step into your place and purpose in the universe. And so then it says it includes 36 cards and a guidebook. So there's 36 cards in the set and a guidebook. So that is the box. That's the exterior. So I'm going to open it up. So now I will say, full disclosure, I've only taken the plastic wrap off of the box. I have not done anything more. So we are going to be looking at this together. This is why I said it's an unboxing rather than just a walkthrough. Okay, so I'm lifting up the box. Okay, so the first thing is that I'll show you the inside of the box. There's a nice little star design on the inside, and I love the color. The color is like a bluish purple, which is a combination of 2 of my favorite colors, so I like the interior. So there's that. And then the first thing that I see here is add copy for their Rockpool app. So that is what you'll see on top when you get your copy. Next is the guidebook. Pretty junky guidebook. So here's the guidebook. And we'll take a look at this after we look at the cards, because I'm one for looking at the cards first and then the guidebook. But it's pretty chunky. You can see. Okay, so now, interior of the box. The bottom part is the same as the top in terms of design and color. Okay, so that's the box. I'm going to put the box aside. So the deck comes with a paper band around it. So I'm just going to lift it up like so. The first things I notice is that the deck is gilded in silver. I love silver. Okay. And cards, these are the backs of the cards. That's a back card design. I'll try and hold it up so you can see they're laminated, so there may be a little bit of a glare depending on how I hold the card up. So I'll try to be mindful of that. But you can clearly see there's a universe, looks like the planet. Gives you that galactic vibe that was described on the back of the box. Okay. And cardstock, for me, the cardstock is good. You know, I'm usually not one for cardstock. Never really is an issue for me. I usually work with the decks the way they come, so I don't have a preference or anything like that. But this is actually very good cardstock. The card size, they strike me as regular Oracle card size. And when I say regular, I usually refer to like Hay House size seems to be like the standard for Oracle card size, so they seem to be that size. I will say, since I have the Angels Among Us right here, I'm going to see they're the same size. And in case you're curious, that deck is gilded in pink. Hot pink. And these are the backs of the Angels Among Us cards. So I'm just going to take a moment to compare them in terms of size. Yeah. So that is the Galactic Guides back. This is the Angels Among Us card backs, and you can see they're the same size. Okay. So I would say they're probably standard, what's considered standard Oracle card size. Okay. So now that I've done that, we're going to go through the cards. So what I'm seeing is there's a commonality between, if you have the Angels Among Us and Goddesses Among Us decks, you will notice that Ellie has stayed true to the art style being presented. So here we have the first card, which is the Sun, card number 1. So you'll see in the corner is the name of the card. In the right corner is the number. And then underneath the title of the card, there's 3 keywords, or there's going to be some keywords, right? But what it is that this deck has actually personified aspects of the zodiac. So this is the first card, the Sun, for the planet, the Sun. And the keywords are vitality, life force, and energy. And so what I noticed is that in terms of the concept, it's being carried over from the very first deck. So they have aspects of the person, the personification, and there may be like little nods or clues like tattoos, you know, something that they're wearing, something that they're holding, maybe something around their neck in terms of jewelry or accessories. It kind of gives you some clues, some intuitive clues as to how to read the card. But this is the Sun. Next we have Mercury. So that is the card number 2. This is Mercury, for the planet Mercury. So you'll notice, the first thing that I notice is that has the caduceus on his jacket. Let's see. And there's some tattoo on his sleeve. On his sleeve, on his arm. And then he has a necklace too. That may be a crystal that's associated with Mercury. But that is Mercury. That's card 2. Card 3 is Venus. And the keywords are love, beauty, sensuality, and pleasure. And the thing that jumps out to me on this card is that, and I didn't really notice it with the other two cards, is that in the background, there's a planet Venus around her head, kind of like a halo. And then around her throat is a heart choker, right, for being the planet of love. And then the glyph for Venus is on her arm, tattooed on her arm. So that's what I noticed about Venus. Next we have Earth, card number 4. Pull that up. And the keywords are grounding, reconnection, home, and guardianship. Card number 5. I like card number 5. Card number 5 is Mars. And keywords are assertion, force, and passion. And then you notice the planet Mars is behind him. And then I love his tattoo on his arm. See that there? The flaming sword. I'll hold it this way. Maybe you can see it a little better that way. See that? I like that. And then also too on the other arm, this is the skull. Yeah. But as a character, see what I talk about personification of the planets? That's a really good one. And then of course all the red. But that was Mars. Next up we have Jupiter. And I like Jupiter for this reason, because I'm going to hold the card up. So we have a little bit of diversity. I mean, we had it with Mercury, but we have an older person here. Keywords for Jupiter are expansion, luck, wisdom, and teaching. So you'll see on his cap, he has the astrological glyph for Jupiter. Next up we have Saturn. And the keywords here are discipline, maturity, structure, and leadership. And the thing that I notice that stands out for me is that she's wearing the glyph for Saturn around her neck as a necklace. But I like this. So here we have more mature people with Jupiter and Saturn. Okay, now this next one, card 8 for Uranus, is fantastic. So I'm gonna hold it up. Doesn't she look great? Doesn't she look like quite the rebel, yeah? So keywords are revolution, rebellion, see that? Eccentricity, and progress. Yeah, that's cool. I really like the image. So that's Uranus. Oh, I love this one. This is Neptune. And I'm saying I love this one because I'm Piscean. If you're new here, you may not know that. But if you've been following some of my other videos, I'm always talking about being Pisces. And so Neptune is my ruling planet. So this is the card for Neptune. And I love it. Oh, I love the coloring. Doesn't the color of his suit look amazing? So that is Neptune. Keywords are depth, dream, illusion, imagination. It's Neptune, card number 9. Card number 10 is Pluto. Keywords are revelation, transformation, death and rebirth, and liberation. And besides wearing the mala beads around his neck, you can see that maybe if I go, also has the glyph for Pluto there. All right. Oh, I love this one. So now we moved away from the planets, and now it looks like we're going to do lunar phases. So the first one here is the new moon. It's card number 11. I just love everything about her. She looks very witchy. Haha, I love it. I'm here for it. Keywords are new beginnings, intention, manifestation, and hope. Yeah. So in this case, you can see the moon phase behind her head, just like the planets were behind the other people in the previous cards. So that's the moon phase behind her. And then what I love about her is that she has the triple moon around her neck, which is a common thing in witchcraft or goddess spirituality. And then I also love the crystal choker around her neck. But I do love her. She looks very witchy to me. Okay, next one is the full moon. Card 12. And here we have fertility, gratitude, abundance, divine feminine. So again, you'll see the lunar face behind her head. And here, what I love, just like in the other character had, the triple moon goddess, she has it, but she has it as a bracelet on her wrist. And then you can clearly see she is pregnant, so that could be a meaning of the card, you know, expectancy, pregnancy, incubation, all those kinds of things. It could be literal pregnancy or more metaphorical. If you pull this card, it's just what's coming to me in the moment. Very like Empress energy in tarot, if you read tarot. In most depictions of the Empress, she's seen as being pregnant. So that was the full moon. Next we have the dark moon. It's card 13. Keywords are endings, experience, integration, and advice. And again, she's wearing the triple moon around her neck. Oh, I just noticed. She has dark moon here, and then you can somewhat see moon phases at the bottom here. That's cool. All right, so now we're moving from moon phases to signs. So there should be 12 of these right now. So first up we have Aries. This is the personification of Aries. You can see she's got the glyph for Aries around her neck. And the keywords are commitment, competitiveness, courage, and fearlessness. And as I'm looking at the card telling you what the keywords are, I noticed there's a constellation in the background. So it looks like the zodiac cards are going to have constellations instead of like planets or something behind her head. They have the constellations above them. But that is Aries. Yeah. Here we have Taurus. I love how studious she looks. But you can clearly see the constellation above her. And the keywords are material world, stability, and luxury. And here she's got for her earrings, she's got the Taurus symbol. Next we have Gemini. Oh, this is cute. So this is card 16. And the Gemini constellation is above her head. And you'll see twins on her shirt. And that's the clue. And so the keywords are versatility, self-expression, and curiosity. Oh, and I just realized she's holding looks like a book in a magazine or books. But the book here says Twin Weekly. And then the other one, it says telepathy. If you can't see that clearly, it says telepathy. And that's for a nod for the whole twin psychic bond between twins thing. I will confess that when I was younger, I always wanted to be a twin because I like the idea of identical twins, but I also like the psychic bond or connection that it said that twins share. So that made me think of my childhood. So that is Gemini. Next up we have Cancer, card 17. Again, you'll see the constellation above. Now here's an obvious nod. She is in her hoodie. You see crabs all over it, right? Which is the animal that is associated with the sign of Cancer. And the keywords are nourishment, self-protection, and intuition. That's Cancer. Next up we have Leo. Keywords are big-heartedness, fierceness, and boldness. And just like the other characters before her, she's got the glyph as a necklace. That's Leo. Next up we have Virgo. And she has the glyph. I'll hold the card up really closely. She has the glyph as a pair of earrings. There's the constellation above her. Keywords are practicality, patience, organization, and details. So that's card number 9. That is Virgo. Next up we have Libra. And the first thing that I noticed about, Libras are said to be about balance. So you can see she's holding her hand up in a way that signifies balance to me or symbolizes balance to me. And there's something in each hand. It's almost like weighing the two items. And you'll see the constellation above her head. Yeah, it's almost like she's weighing the two different types of flowers. Yeah, I was looking to see if there were scales anywhere in the card, and the scales are her earrings. So that's Libra. Next up we have Scorpio. And of course the nod to the sign is her scorpion tattoo. Constellation above. Keywords are magic, sexuality, intensity, and secrecy. And I just realized the item that she's holding is actually a candle. And since Scorpio is a sign that rules the occult and magic, to me I see candle magic in that. That is Scorpio. Card number 22 is Sagittarius. Oh, and I love this. So this is for Sagittarius. And you will notice that on her shirt is the symbol for Sagittarius, the archer. But if you look at her entire image here that Sagittarians are said to be known for being outdoorsy type people. They are the explorers of the zodiac. They are the ones that are into going to foreign lands, exploring different cultures, things like that. And I'm saying that my rising sign is Sagittarius. While I may not consider myself so much the outdoorsy type because of allergies, I have a fascination with foreign cultures, you know. And when I have come in contact, especially in the working spaces in my life, that, you know, when I've experienced people from other countries, I'm just like, I just want to know everything about their culture. So I worked with a woman from Israel for a time, and I was just so fascinated by her. And then I was fascinated with another woman who came from Bulgaria. So, you know, and then I've known people who, in my working spaces, that were from the Philippines, and listening to them speak Tagalog. It was so much fun. But I just, every time I would meet somebody from another country, I was just always so fascinated by their culture. I just wanted to know more. So that is a nod to Sagittarians, right? So, but I like that she appears like she's exploring the lands in another country. So that is Sagittarius. That was card number 22. This is card number 23. This is Capricorn. And I'm here for it, you know, little more male representation here. I like the way he looks. And you will see that he's holding something that has the symbol for Capricorn on it. And I'm just looking to see what else gets my attention. Yeah, so here is the goat representation, right? But then on his pocket is the glyph. And then, of course, above him, I'll hold it so maybe the lighting. There's the constellation. So the keywords are ambition, resilience, authenticity, and determination. And that is Capricorn. And I love this next one, so I'm setting it up. So I've already talked about my rising sign being Sagittarius and my sun sign being Pisces. I said, well, we haven't seen the Pisces card yet. But my moon sign's in Aquarius, so here's the Aquarius card. Gonna hold it up. Here we go. And the first thing that I noticed, I don't know about you, but I noticed that his glasses, there's another lens covering his third eye. That is fantastic. I love it. Let me see, what else do I see? Okay, and he's got the glyph for Aquarius on as a tattoo on his arm there. Yeah, and he's got it around his neck there. Hold it closer. And what I love here, he's got the symbol for air, the element air, right there. I love that. Because Aquarians, that's an air sign. So the keywords here are uniqueness, idealism, vision, and activism. Oh, and I just noticed he's holding a water bottle that's got a crystal in it, right? I think that's a thing, right? Somebody can tell me in the comments below, but I think that's actually a thing where they have water bottles with crystals in them. Right, and I just realized that's a nod to Aquarians being known as the water bearer, yeah, that he's holding a water bottle. See? So clever. Vix and Ellie are so clever in the little nods they put into the person or the character on the card. So that is Aquarius. Next up we have Pisces. Okay, so I kind of alluded to this, and I'm loving what I see here. I love it that it's going to say it. I love it that it's a male representation or male presenting, right? And the first thing that I notice is the eye on his jacket there, right? Because Pisces is said to be the most intuitive or psychic sign. And then notice the symbol of the fish on his arm. Right there, because Pisces is known as the visual as the two fish going in opposite directions. Yeah, so there's a nod for that. Let me see, what else do I see? Oh, and the glyph for Pisces is right there. Yeah. But I love the beads around his wrist. So the keywords are sensitivity, psychic awareness, symbols and signs. Yes, yes, yes. So true, so true. And that's a constellation for Pisces, and it's card number 25. But that is Pisces. All right, so now we've seen some of the planets, we've seen lunar phases, we've seen the 12 signs of the zodiac. So let's see what's next. And so it looks to me like this, basing on the first card here, there may be a nod for star seeds. That's the best way I can put it. So first card here, card number 26 is Alpha Centauri. So now this is an aspect that is new for me. So I will have fun exploring these cards. So the keywords are protection, logic, analysis, and warrior spirit. And I will say that as I'm looking at this, I'm noting that this is one of the characters that's on the cover of the guidebook, as well as the box cover. Okay, so there's one. Next up we have card number 27 is Sirius. So, oh yeah, so these are probably, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but just right off the top of my head, I'm thinking like these are star systems, yeah? Which really feeds into the idea about being a starseed, right? Because it depends on what system you originate from. So that is Sirius. Keywords are knowledge, training, wisdom, wisdom keeping, and wisdom teaching. Okay, the next up we have Pleiades. And again, this is a character that is on both the cover of the guidebook and the box. Keywords are healing, compassion, understanding, and peace. And he does look quite peaceful, doesn't he? And he has looks like he has a constellation above his head, whereas the Sirius card and the Alpha Centauri card just had stars in the background. But this looks like a constellation to me. Next up we have, it's either Lyra or Lyra. So those of you who are more familiar with star systems can correct me. And keywords are confidence, purpose, potential, and fulfillment. And interestingly enough, I noticed that we had, with Sirius, we had the dog. So it makes me think of the word dog star. I think that's a word. If not, it's coming to me in the moment. And then the difference here, or the converse, is that the Lyra card has a cat on it. So there may be something about leonine. I'm thinking leonine, like cat-like, lion-like energy attached to that, or feline energy attached to that. Again, this is not my wheelhouse. This aspect of astrology or galactic knowledge, it's not my forte. So I think I'm correct, but I could be mistaken. So again, this may be where somebody can correct me if I'm off base. But that's card 29. And then we have Andromeda. This is card 30. I love the personification here. And so the keywords are spiral path, higher light, and deeper love. And you can note the spiral path with the stars above him, the way they are arranged. Okay, now this is a name I've never heard of. So I'm going to hold it up, and I'm thinking it's Procyon. So like I said, this is a new one for me. And then we have, as the keyword, personal development, soul growth, breathwork, and light codes. What I love here on her shoulder here, looks like she's got the moon, and on this arm here, she's got, looks like a sun. But that is card 31. Card 32 is Draco. Now, I'm pretty sure that dragons are associated with Draco, so I'm looking, and on the book cover here is a dragon. So it makes me think of the word draconian, so I'm sure there's something of that aspect in the meaning of the card. Keywords are charisma, challenges, judgment, and ascension. And here to me above, that may be a, hold it like that, maybe a constellation. Look and see what else grabs my attention. Oh yeah, what's on the shirt right there? It looks like a hexagram encased in green. Card 33, we have Vega. I love it. First off, I love her look, okay? But what I love, here we have a riff on those signs that say welcome to Vegas, but it says welcome to Vega. I love it. That is so cool. Okay. Keywords are luminosity, creativity, talent, and fame. Yeah. Again, that's Vega, card 33. Okay, we have a few more to go. Okay, here's another one that I'm not familiar with, so I'm pretty sure that's pronounced, Mintaka. Okay, keywords are nostalgia, belonging, and community. It's very interesting. At her look, it does look like she's from a bygone era. So that's Mintaka. Next up, card 35 is Arcturus. And I love it. Her t-shirt says the future is bright. And keywords are strong will, pioneer, forward thinking, and change making. That is Arcturus. And then the last card, card 36, is Cygnus. Clearly see the constellation above. The keywords are grace, divinity, elevated consciousness, and royalty. Yeah, and you can get the idea with the royalty with the little tiara that she has on. And she looks very regal. Alright, so that is Cygnus, and that is the entire deck, all 36 cards. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to reposition things so we can take a closer look at the guidebook and maybe even pull a card so you can see how the guidebook reads. So let's do that now. Alright, and we are back at the table, and I have the cards that we just went through one by one. I have the box, and here is the guidebook. So now we're going to take a look at what is in the guidebook. So I'm going to hold it up slightly like that. So there's the cover, and you will see depictions of 3 of the characters on the book cover. Okay, so opening it up, it's the inside. The contents, so there's a table of contents. And it looks like here we have the cards in numerical order with the page number that the description for that card is on. And then prior to that, there's an introduction and how to use the cards. And at the end, there's some information about Vix, the author, and Ellie, the illustrator. So there's the introduction, goes into the cards. The introduction is written by Vix. Okay, then there's a bit about how to use the cards. And I will read the opening line. She says here, and this is Vix, you may work with this deck in whatever way you like. Okay? Whatever way you like. But I'm sure there's going to be some suggestions in here. So I'm going to read some of the, I'm going to come back here. It says here, the planets will often have the biggest influence on you in your day-to-day life. So when they come out or come up in your readings, they may point to what's affecting you most closely and immediately. Pay extra attention to when the planets that govern your sign, moon, and rising sign come up in your readings. Now, notice how when we were doing the walkthrough, I pointed out mine, yeah? So according to this, I would pay more attention to when those cards would come up, as these are your closest allies and often your biggest teachers as well. The zodiac constellations can represent bigger picture energies, inviting you to zoom out and look at things from a broader perspective. When your sun, moon, and rising sign come up, they may act as powerful guideposts and pointers to light your way. So those are the constellation cards. And then here, the star systems, those are the last few cards, guide you on your highest path to align you with your destiny and show you a higher purpose for the situation you're asking about. These beings are very high-level guides who can help you see your best path more clearly. It says here, similar to the tarot, if you're a tarot reader, seeing a high proportion of one type of card in your reading can give you another layer of insight. So there's that aspect. So she gives you ways of considering those three different types of cards or categories within the larger card deck system. There's that. And then there's a ritual here that you could try to kind of like consecrate the cards. And then the card spreads here. Okay, so here we have the quick guidance, which is the 3 card. The celestial star is 4 cards. 7-pointed star guidance. Then there's the Galactic Cross, which is probably a variation of the Celtic Cross if you're fluent in tarot. So I'll probably be taking a look at that one because I use the Celtic Cross spread religiously and faithfully. Okay, then there's a section on expanded card meanings. So here she gives a breakdown of the elements. And then here we have what looks to be like chakras. And then it goes into card meanings. So here in this section we see we have a page just devoted to the thumbnail of the card. So here we have the first card, the sun, the keywords, the image. Then here she has the element, the chakra, the crystal. And that's going to be helpful because each character was either holding a crystal or holding a flower, right? So we have the chakra, the crystal, the flower, and the plant. And then there's a little bit of text. And then she gives you some insight if you're asking a particular type of question. So on the bottom of this page, if the sun turns up in a love question or a love-related question, you could read that as the possible answer or guidance. Then she has for money, purpose, service, spirituality. And then there's a keyword for light work, a section for light work and shadow work. So I imagine the light work would be if the card turns upright, if you're working with upright and reversals, this would be upright. Shadow work might be reversed or inverted, as they say. Yeah, so that's interesting. Okay, so then here we have Mercury, and again, we have the astrology, the element, chakra, crystal, flower, plant. And the same thing, some text and categories. If it turns up for love, money, purpose, service, spirituality, these might be aspects you might want to consider. Then the light work and shadow work. And it probably is going to go like that for all the cards. Yeah. So all the cards get the same treatment. And then at the end, there's Vix, also known as New Age Hipster. And a little bit more about her on this page. And then Ellie Grant, the illustrator. Same thing, more about her. And that is the guidebook. So now let's go ahead and pull a card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle the deck. I want to shuffle it because I want to make sure that we get a good mix here. So this is the way I shuffle Oracle cards. Take a moment to do the, sorry, I hit the camera, overhand. Okay, so we had a card fall out. I'll go with that. So the card we have here is Sirius. And this will be good because I'm not familiar with this other than knowing about it as a star system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. Hopefully you can see that clearly. So that is the card, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to read from the guidebook. So I'm going to look for Sirius. Okay. So on page 100 in the guidebook, I'm going to hold it like this. Now I'm just going to hold it so you can see it, because I'm going to need to read from it. So I'm going to pause that, so if you want to take a moment to look at that. Okay. So now the elements are air and metal. So metal would be one of the, I'm guessing from Chinese astrology, right? One of the 5 elements. Then the chakras are the crown chakra and the stellar gateway. Crystal is lapis lazuli. The flower is blue lotus. And the plant is licorice root. So there's a little description about the star system. It says here, Sirius is a binary star system consisting of Sirius A, the brightest star in the night sky, and Sirius B, a dwarf companion star. Okay, so now I'm going to just briefly read the sections. So for love, if this turned up in a love question, it says here, don't make assumptions. Ask others how they feel and what they need. Study psychology or read books on relationships. That was love. For money, learn about the financial systems you use and discover better ways to manage your money. Sirius also brings powerful manifestation energy. For purpose, learn about spirituality, energy, and technologies that speak to you. That was for purpose. For service, teach and share what you have learned with others. Spirituality, learn about ancient Egyptian spirituality. Call on the Syrian star guides and ancient Egyptian deities for support and guidance. So it gives you a little flavor about like each of the different types of insight that could be offered depending on the category that you are seeking some insight or information on. Now for light work, it says, set aside time each week to learn about the spiritual topics you're interested in. Take a journey to Sirius in meditation. Work with blue lotus oil. Drink blue lotus tea. Or meditate on an image of the blue lotus. Visualize yourself surrounded by Syrian blue light when you're studying or reading. Now for shadow work. Now this might be if the card was inverted possibly. Remember that practice and experience turn knowledge into wisdom. Consider how technology both helps and harms you. Look at the ways in which you are not sharing useful information with others. Keep the wisdom by holding it sacred. So there you have it. So that is the way the guidebook reads for one of the cards. And this will bring our video to a close. So this again has been, and I'll pull out, the Galactic Guides Oracle by Rockpool Publishing. Again, if you are interested in this deck, it will be available March the 5th of 2024. And so I thank you for sharing the space here with me as I unboxed and walked through this great Oracle deck. I will be personally using it. So I am happy and gracious to the people over at Rockpool for, again, knowing that I exist and for continuing to offer me advanced copies of their decks and books. I'm just so grateful. So on that note, this is Jameson Mitchell. Thanks for sharing this space here with me, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Until then, be well and take care.